Not that thing again.
Sorry, it's a new one.
Come on, Ken.
I know. No, so this is actually not like an on-camera thing. This is more just about what you're saying and stuff. And then I do want to do a proper one. But talk to me about what's going on in the Gulf.
Okay, the deal is what's going on in the Gulf is we have a rig that's about 45 miles off the southern tip of Louisiana, that last little bit of land, which happens to be some of the most incredibly rich marshland, which feeds an enormous ecosystem. So some of the most fragile land on the face of the earth, at least in North America. This oil rig blew up, caught on fire. 10 days later, it's still gushing out oil. About 10 days into it, the government says, well, we've offered all of our help to BP, who's responsible for the cleanup, and they're still heading up the cleanup. And I'm thinking to myself that since when would the landowner, the leaseor, let the leasee totally rebuild the house? You know, the landowner would charge the leasee, the landowner would take control of it. We're in real precarious territory here because this is just totally unprecedented. And what we need is a very swift and calculated response with the federal government maybe marshaling all the resources that it has, not just to help people think in terms of wetlands and wetland loss and this and that, meaning we have to go and wash the little birds off, and it's more than just about a bird.
Yes.
That this system has been the ecosystem that has fed our country. 2/3 of the production from the lower 48 states of production of seafood, 2/3 of the production of seafood from the lower 48 states comes from this ecosystem. And it all begins with the microorganisms and the marsh grasses at the mouth of the Mississippi River. You have other rivers there too. It's the mighty Mississippi that just feeds it all. So my hope is that one, we figure out how to address the leaking well. Two, we act swiftly with all of the resources. As if we're going to war, we have to protect this coastline. They're not just jobs, there's communities, there's culture.
Actually, can you talk about the jobs a little bit, like the shrimpers? And
you know, one thing in particular, it's been a real slap in the face to the American shrimper period. This just rapid importation, unchecked, from foreign shrimp, flooding our market. And the foreign shrimp, we don't know what waters they come from, we don't know what they were fed, we really know very little about their origin. Yet we accept them with open arms into our country. A lot of times using slave labor to process these things that we're actually feeding our children, eating in our our massive chain restaurants across the country. And that has really been a handicap to our shrimpers. Two, these shrimpers of these communities have made it through hurricane after hurricane. Really got back on their feet themselves. These are very resilient people. And now we're kind of dragging our feet in this slow, this very delayed response to the waters. And we're talking about this ecosystem as a source of, it's a $2.9 billion a year industry just in our region. Shrimp and oysters and crab, along with some fin fish production there. So you're basically talking about this whole industry on the verge of collapse if we do not act swiftly. And we need people really to be unified about this. It's more than just about a job, because it's really about culture. I think we need to preserve our environment. We need to, I think Obama was put in office for the very things that he claimed to have espoused, and yet right now we're seeing that administration really dragging their feet with this one, and that's what that's the shock to all of us, and that's why we're asking everyone, get out there.
What can people do?
Call your representatives, call your senators, call whoever. Make noise. And one thing that you can do right now is start right away by eating American shrimp.
How do you know it's American shrimp?
And they have to label the origin of the shrimp now in many of the different grocery stores. And I know each state has its own law on it. Demand domestic shrimp. Demand domestic, great domestic oysters. Demand, and they will have to supply them.
Can you do what should chefs do?
And I think the one thing the chefs should do is also be very mindful of the origin of their seafood. We've been very blessed so far with the way it looks now that 3/4 of our fisheries might be spared.
Really? Oh.
If that happens, then this has been a blessing. We still have a lot to work on. We have a lot to clean up, but perhaps we can still salvage that culture and the industry to go with it. Not to mention all the environmental effects.
That's so. And what are you doing at your restaurants?
And so at my restaurant, we're concentrating on just supporting those that are out there, oyster families, the Sinceri families. We're out there with P&J Oysters, supporting our local shrimpers, making sure what we buy from our shore, at least stabilizing as best we can with the few people that are out there able to make a living at it. And two, we have an active feeding arrangement going on where we're taking food down to the mouth of the river. Cleanup or mitigation is taking place. So right now it's not even a matter of just cleaning up. It's about mitigating what sort of losses we're going to get. And so I have a deal that we're going to get out there and just like after rebuilding Katrina, you want to come and rebuild a restaurant, we're going to feed you. You want to come and help save our environment, we're going to feed you. And so we're trying to get out there and do what we can now. But the key is, there's this vast unknown that's out there. We have no idea what we're even dealing with yet because BP tells us one thing, the government tells us another, and more estimates that even those have been skewed, that it may be up to five times worse than what our government's even saying. So right now there's just this big question of unknown. And I think our question is not to cast blame right now. Let's deal with it. Let's bring in, whether it's the Department of Defense, let's bring in all of our resources. Because we're an incredible country. We can do so much. And I love it. And I'm not against oil. We've got to figure out how to handle crises like this before they become crises. And that's my plea to everybody. Get out there, get involved, and make it known you want to save, we've got to save the Gulf.
You just gave me chills.